What's up, everybody? Mate's retired Richard Ojeda here, and the midterm elections are getting close. And recently, Mitch McConnell was asked what the Republican agenda would be. What are their policy-making ideas? What would they do if they were to take the Senate majority back? And he said, that's a very good question, and I'll let you know when we take it back. Exactly. From a guy who never has a plan, guess what? They have no plan. It doesn't take long to look over Mitch McConnell's career and identify his function. We've even heard him come right out and say it on a number of occasions. He plans to do nothing. He plans to obstruct the other side so they look bad, and then his party takes office, does nothing, gets himself and his party kicked out the next term, and the cycle starts all over again. You know, he's been playing this ping pong game for years now, yet it works. He gets to do nothing and gets a free lunch on top of it as this plan gets him elected over and over again. And isn't this the very thing every American says is bad about politics? Yet Kentucky keeps electing this do-nothing and obstructionist since 1985. Understand that if you take the salary of not only Mitch McConnell himself, but his staffers, the annual pay of that office is in the millions of public dollars that they literally are being paid to do nothing. If that isn't the very definition of incompetence, I don't know what is. A shameless, dirty politician like McConnell has no second thoughts on this. He's been on a constant campaign to keep his cushy, do-nothing job for over 35 years. Think of the public money that's gone to him over his career. Are you satisfied with the input versus output, the productivity or lack thereof? Who is the party of efficient spending and limited government? Think about that, people. The Republicans had the presidency, the Senate, and the House. They ran on repealing and replacing Obamacare. They did neither. They said they'd cut your taxes and make the super rich pay. They did the exact opposite. They promised to eliminate the federal deficit. They increased it by more than 60%. They promised to bring back mining jobs. They lost mining jobs by 24% during their time. They said they had drained the swamp, but his administration had more billionaires, CEOs, and Wall Street moguls than in any government in history, with former lobbyists and consultants who are crafting new policies for the same industries they used to work for. The ultimate grifters. Yet in politics, it's not about what you do, it's about what you say. Just the opposite of reality. The opposite of what real working people are held accountable to each and every day. But in politics, perception is reality. Nobody looks at the data. They listen to their programs of choice and buy what they are hearing outright without applying any critical thinking. McConnell sees this as a fact to seize upon. An opportunity to leech and grift off the public dollar because that's what nobody is watching. He knows politics is free and open door to do whatever the heck you want, a playground for white-collar criminals. All you have to do is hoodwink enough of your electorate, play partisan politics, and band together and help one another keep your worthless and useless jobs. And it works. We should not settle for this. It's time that each and every one of us gets involved. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.